Hello YouTube, Jim Chapman, American Airgun Hunter, and I'm getting ready to go on a hunt. Actually, I've already been on the hunt. I'm doing this intro after the fact, but I was so busy getting ready for the hunt that I didn't have time to do it before. At any rate, about, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I had a call from Blaine Manifold, president of Hatsan USA, and he asked me if I wanted to try a new gun they were working on. And he gave me a very brief description, but he said there were two conditions on the gun. One is that I could only keep it for a short period of time, and number two, I had to keep quiet about it until they were ready to release. And so I agreed to both of those right away. I said, hells yeah. What he told me was pretty intriguing. It was a gun from Hatsan, a 457, had been set up to shoot a 525 grain bullet that was being put out by Hunter Supply. And the gun was generating about 700 foot-pound of energy, which would make it the most powerful production air gun on the market, at least that I know of. I've had some pretty good luck with the Hatsan guns lately, so I was ready to give it a try. I was on my way to Texas to do some other hunts, so I brought this along, and I decided since the gun was an unknown to me, I'd bring it out, I'd give it a quick shake on the range. I didn't do a thorough range test by any means, but I just checked the zero. I had it shooting 5 shots at 65 yards, 60 or 65 yards. I forgot what I used. I'll say later in the video. But I was getting pretty tight groups, 3-shot groups, and then I had a little bit of drop in the 4th and 5th shot, but still completely usable. So at any rate, I got out with the gun and had some pretty interesting hunts that you're going to see coming up. In the beginning, I'm out after deer, and then later I go after javelina. So let's get out there. We'll see how the gun does. I'm out in West Texas right now with the Hatsan Piledriver. This is a brand new big bore from Hatsan. It's a 45 caliber rifle, and I tell you, there are a few 45 caliber rifles, but what makes this one unique is the power. It's putting out over 700 foot-pound of energy utilizing a 525 grain cast bullet. I wanted to see how this would work. I'm starting out with a doe. Just wanted to make sure that it was going to really hit with authority. I've been on the range with it, 65 yards. I'm getting sub-inch groups with these for 3 shots. Then I start to see a drop for the next 2 shots, but you know, knowing that it's going to hit 2 inches low, 2 inches lower than that on the 4th and 5th shot means that they're still usable shots. It's going out with plenty of power. And anyway, I'm going to get out there and set up. There's some bushes. I've been noticing all kinds of deer sign, and I've been glassing. I've been seeing a lot of deer. Today I set up early this morning, and all I could find were bucks. So I come back out and I've glassed around. I did see some does back in here, and I'm gonna come back in about an hour, hour and a half, and set up. And what I'm going to do is just sit right under one of these mesquite trees and use the shade. And tuck into it and wait for the does to come down. I did throw some corn in the road to try to get them into like the 50 to 60 yard range. So anyway, I'm going to do a body shot. I want to see if it's going to drop them quickly and cleanly. And let's go back. I'll get ready and I'll come back and set up, and we'll start the hunt. I tucked in under a tree, and it wasn't long before a doe came in. Man, this gun hits hard. The doe was knocked off her feet and was dead and anchored to the spot where she'd fallen. I loaded the doe up and drove back to the ranch to drop her off at the cold locker. Then things happened fast. As I was unloading the doe, a group of javelina ran across the road about 100 yards away, and the game was on. It's a javalina. I wanted a deer and javalina and got him. Nice little javalina. Got him right on the shoulder. You can see right here. Okay, so what happened? I shot a doe and I quickly field dressed her, threw her in the back. I've got an SUV. Threw her in the back of it, drove over and dumped her in the cold house over at the ranch. And I was walking out and I looked down the road and there went a herd, a group, whatever you call a bunch of these things. There were like 7 or 8 of them running across the road. And they hit over this way towards the high fence and then they started running that way. I cut around this way and I saw 2 of them break off. There was a bigger one in this one. I don't know where the bigger one went. It just disappeared. But as I was walking through the cactus, I saw this one over here, just right in front of this tree. And so I took the offhand shot. It was about, I don't know, 45 yards maybe? 45 yards. And so, I mean, these are smaller animal, both the doe and this, but I'm feeling confident in the gun. I may try some lighter bullets with it. I don't think I need these 525 grain. Maybe for the out, that'd be good. But anyway, I'm going to get him back, get him gutted, and get him field dressed and back over to the cold house as well. I think Chacho might be out tonight. He's been telling me he's going to teach me how to get the hams off of these. There'll be tiny hams on this one, or maybe use them in some traditional Mexican dishes that he knows. Anyway, I'm going to get that done, get back. So, love it when a plan comes together. It's my next to last day here. I've been passing on deer, I've been passing on javalina, and I wanted a big one. And I'm going to go out and try to arrow. I've seen a couple massive boars, and I'm going to take one big one, and I want to do that with an arrow. At any rate, we'll get him back, and you'll see some more. So I did my next to last day on the ranch with a deer and a javelina in the bag. I had one more day to hunt, and I went out during the day and I did some predator calling and went for small game. Didn't have much luck. Nothing much was moving around. So towards the end of the day, I packed up, did one last hunt for javelina before I headed off the property, and it was pretty interesting. Take a look, see what happens. And man, it's throwing a serious piece of lead. The bullets they sent me to work with, and I'm going to try some different ones as well. But this is what I'm using today. Check this puppy out. 525 grain cast lead bullet, and they've been tuning it different ways. This is a first release gun, but anyway, anywhere from 650 up to about 710 foot-pound of energy, making this the most powerful production air gun, at least that I've ever come across. At any rate, I'm going to get out here. I'm working the roads. I'm going to go further back into the hill country. That's where I saw the javelina yesterday. I saw about a dozen of them. I'm losing daylight. Chased this javelina into the heavy brush, and he was running. Stopped for 1 second. I hit him, knocked him over. My shot went in at the shoulder up here, came out back here. It's a powerful gun for the size of quarry. So what did I think of the Hatsan Piledriver in the field? It's an ergonomic bullpup that carries well and comes to the shoulder naturally. There are plenty of accessory mounts, and the trigger had a good tactile response out of the box. The loading port is accessible and easy to load even with very long bullets. The side lever action is smooth and cycles very rapidly. The Piledriver fills using a proprietary probe. And the bullets I used were the Hunter Supply 525 grain solids with a large flat met plate. Will be great for heavy body game. By the way, if you like these videos out hunting with me, because that's what I look at it as. We're out hunting together, and I enjoy it. But if you like these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and share them. Help me get the traffic up. I really appreciate that. Anyway, let's get going. Some more hunting to do.